The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
The Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, in the House on his way home from the Coronation. You're a Republican, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How does that... Do you feel a bit conflicted
Not
sitting
at
there
all.
watching the pageantry and the pomp?
Not at all. I want an Australian as our head of state. But
Yeah.
there are, of course, 57 countries in the Commonwealth.
Yes.
Only 15 countries are part of the realm, which means that
it's like Game of Thrones.
the king is the king of Australia.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it's important as Prime Minister that I respect institutions which
Until
are
we
there.
change it.
Which
Yep.
are- exactly.
That-
And that you do the right thing. I wasn't there to have a protest, which is what some people seem to think I should have done. I mean, it's ridiculous.
No,
time or the
Albo,
place.
that's really interesting to hear because I didn't know there was only 15 left that are ruled by the
Yes.
king. Because my thing was that, and I think we should be a Republican. We've got to that point. But I was thinking, if we do that, then we're out of the Commonwealth Games,
No.
and that's one thing that we win all the
Not
time.
at all.
Canada.
No, Canada's
that's
one of
yes.
the realm countries.
Is it?
Yeah, Canada.
Don't they have a president?
Canada's in. No.
Ah.
No, they have a Governor-General like us. So the
Right.
15 realm countries were
Yeah.
the people... You get a better seat if you're a realm country.
okay.
Really?
There are the realm countries, then the non-realm
Yes.
Commonwealth countries,
And then Harry.
and then
And then Prince Andrew. Yeah.
it's the only time where the United States representatives and France and some of the big G7 countries,
Yes.
they're
They're-
further back from Australia.
Oh, that's good news.
Now,
For you.
And
it's good.
Antigua's first. We're always second of the realm countries.
Oh, sorry, it's
Antigua and
So it's
alphabetical.
always Antigua, Australia, Bahamas. So I've got to know the Prime Ministers of Antigua and Bahamas very well.
Are they a bit of fun?
They are. They are,
Talk about cricket.
Exactly. But, well, particularly Antigua.
Yeah.
we need to know the one question that everyone was asking about the coronation, and this actually is from the Queen's funeral as well, is the toilet situation there. My dad was flipping out watching it going, what if you have to go to the toilet? Like, because you're there for hours, and it doesn't look like it's a situation where you can get up from your seat and go to a portaloo. So what's the deal?
The deal is don't
Don't go.
drink
Yes.
water.
Really? So do they
In the
say if
morning.
you need to go to the toilet, you cannot?
Literally. No, I think in an emergency you could, but it would be pretty
Embarrassing.
disruptive and you're conscious of the cameras. So literally, the night before, we had
You start the drying out process.
Yeah, we had a gathering of all of the Australian representatives,
Yes.
and of course we had 3 Victoria Cross winners,
Yep.
Yeah.
including the wonderful Keith Payne, who's just an absolute legend, and we had Sam Kerr.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
What a champion.
Great West
Yes.
Australian, chosen by me to be the flag
Thank
bearer, and she just looked fantastic,
She did.
and she's so awesome. And so we had Sam, and we had Nick Cave, and we had
Adam
Adam
Hills.
Hills, and we had a nurse from the NHS, and we had people from the arts, Yvonne Kenny, and we had an amazing group.
The
of
AstraZeneca
Australians.
developer.
And,
Yep.
and we told, we got told, everyone, make sure in the morning you don't drink a whole lot of water.
Yes. Adam Hills said in an interview that he did a dummy run the day before of just having a little bit of coffee in the morning to get himself up and about, and then not drinking for the rest of the day to see how long he could hold on for, so that he knew that he was prepared.
And then like
Training.
a bowl of...
You need training for
Yeah,
an
you
event
do,
like
don't you?
A bowl of sawdust for
Yes,
breakfast.
yes.
When you're at the coronation, because we all watched a fair bit of it on TV, but it gets to the point, right, where we're seeing it and like, okay, where's the sport? Not for everyone.
Well, the
I'm getting
Dockers
you,
were
Nathan.
playing, Sean, so what were you going to do?
But you know, did you get bored there?
No, not at all. It
Oh,
was
come on.
No, not at all.
Anthony.
How
there
far
was
before it started did you have to be in situ in your spot?
Well, not too long beforehand. Some were there many hours beforehand.
Not the important realmers,
No.
though.
The realm, exactly. So when you're from the realm, you get in just before other royals, and then the actual royal family were there. So Princess Mary was just sitting just across
Really?
the
Yeah,
same
right.
aisle as we were, and so you get to see all the royals moving in, and then the royal family coming in. And then it's on, and there is something about the acoustics in a cathedral.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, in this case, an abbey.
Yeah.
That is just magnificent. And the singing and the music was just beautiful.
But was there was a bit too much of it. There was 21 of those choir songs. 21. 15's probably enough. 10's enough.
It went for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The last one went for more than double that.
And the worst thing is, like, Katy Perry was there. Yeah. It's like, can you just stand up and do a bit of...
She was trying to find her seat for most of it.
A bit of I Kissed a Girl.
We're just unpacking the coronation with the Prime Minister, who's joined us here in the studio at the Albanese. It's always a pleasure to have you in town.
It's good to be here. And I'm sorry I've disappointed you, mate, by you not being the flag bearer.
Yeah.
It was very upsetting for me.
But we've seen your upper
it was
arms,
Sam
Nathan.
Kerr or
and I don't think you could have.
You made the final two on the list.
Yeah.
I know, but like,
You ran second.
I understand that Sam Kerr has done some things, but like Sean,
She's
come
pretty
on.
handy. Like,
She is.
Yeah, she's
We're
all right.
related.
All right.
We're related.
we beat England 2-0.
Yeah. She's
You're
been
related.
Absolutely, yeah.
In what way?
Her mother is first cousins with my dad, so we grew up.
So
kind
you're
of
second
together.
cousins?
Second cousins, but we're quite.
Besties.
Tight.
Yeah, I haven't seen Sam obviously in a long time since she's been dominated. She's
she
kind of
doesn't
put me
call
to the
when she's
side.
in town, does she?
Yeah, no, it's really weird that way. But yeah, there you go. You wouldn't have thought that, would you?
She's a terrific person. She's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about a couple of other big events you've got coming up. So after this, you've got what coming up on the horizon?
Well, we've got the budget tomorrow night. So
Great timing.
We've got the big budget cell then, talking about what we're doing for a better future and all the...
Are people going to be happy with this budget?
Well, we've got $14.6 billion worth of cost of living relief.
Okay.
And so that will be rolling out. We understand people are under pressure, but we're also, it's a really responsible budget. I think we've got the balance right for strengthening the economy. So I hope people receive it well, but we'll wait and see. We're doing our best, so we will do that, and then at the end of next week I go to the G7 in Hiroshima in Japan, which is all of the 7 largest economies in the world, and Australia has been invited by Japan, by Prime Minister Kishida, and the following week Prime Minister Kishida, Prime Minister Modi of India and President Biden will be in Australia for hosting the Quad Leaders meeting, which is the largest, most significant gathering in Australia since we hosted the G20 a decade ago.
But I hear there's something bigger than that on the horizon after that.
And then after, well, I'm hosting the big three,
Yes.
the leaders of United States, India and Japan.
Huge.
And then next month, I'm hosting the other big three.
The bigger three.
Who's
The
that?
other big three.
Who's that?
You three. Nathan, Nat and Sean, come to the lodge.
Yes!
As
So-
promised.
As promised,
This
you're delivering.
This is a prime ministerial promise that you are delivering on. It's actually
done.
happening.
It's in the diary. How are you going to broadcast from the lodge?
Well, we are from
the lodge.
Canberra. I'm
We-
wondering
we
how
will-
you're working that out.
We're doing it
We
from the
are.
hotel, so we're going to broadcast from the hotel that we're staying at,
Yeah.
because you apparently won't let us stay at the lodge, which
Yeah.
is actually pretty
no spare
hurtful.
bedrooms.
Pretty
and
rude,
everything.
but we'll get
about
into that later on. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to be coming to your place for dinner. But there is 1,000 questions on the table, Sean, about dinner.
Well, I think number one is what are we going to wear?
What do we wear?
Nathan's really bad at wearing suits.
You're looking pretty good at the moment.
He's
I've
wearing
got to say.
tracksuit pants.
No, but this is my point. And I was speaking about you on the weekend. I said we're going to be going to have dinner with Anthony at the lodge, and then everyone's like, "Oh my God, what are you going to wear?" And I went, "Well, it's his house, so really, it's up to you what we wear. Because you could wear trackies and a t-shirt, and we could just get some
You
pizza.
can be chilled. No, we
what are
won't
you
have
gonna-
pizza.
what-
We'll do a bit better than that.
Are we going to have like? We're going to have
We'll
like a
do a bit
chefy
better
person
than
there?
that. Absolutely. You're going to
Yeah,
get
well,
looked after.
It's the lodge experience.
I don't know. I didn't know what we're getting. I thought
do
we
you
might
think
have
we're
been.
getting
I don't know.
pizza?
I thought we were going to like Uber Eats. Or
Do you
something.
think we're Netflix and chilling at the lodge?
Careful.
Jody, you're sitting over there. I'll sit here with Anthony.
We are certainly looking forward to it. That's for sure. But I just want to go back to the budget. Obviously, the
Oh,
$14
what a
million.
killjoy.
Well, everybody wants to know
Billion.
what's going on here. $14 billion.
Billion.
I'm
There's
not
a
sure if
difference.
that's a lot.
It's
Sounds like a lot.
substantial.
I'm not sure. $500 is what we're going to be looking at in terms of the power situation.
And that's
Is that really going to help a lot?
Oh,
though, Albo?
Absolutely it will. And we are targeting support for those most in need. People will have to see that detail tomorrow night, but we're very conscious that because global inflation, one of the things that when you gather at the coronation is you get to talk to all of the leaders from other nations. And let me tell you that the UK and a whole lot of countries would want to be us right now.
Yeah. Well, they just had to pay for a coronation, so they're a little bit in the hole.
Inflation is something arising from the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the sort of aftermath of the pandemic of what happened with global supply chains means that they're under enormous pressure. So interest rates are hurting here, but they're a lot higher in the United States, for example.
Here's the question on that, though, and I totally agree with that. But a lot of people go, I don't care what's going on in another country. They want to know what's going on here and how, after, the last election, both Liberal and Labor going, oh, mate, we can take control of inflation. And as we see it at the moment, it's not in control. It's not.
Well, because we live in a globalised world, and when something happens in one part of the world, it has an impact on us. So what happened with the Russian invasion of Ukraine was Russia turned the tap off.
Yep.
And that led to their Europe's largest energy supplier, and that led to an increase in global prices. Here in WA, of course, the Carpenter government was really sensible and made sure there was some domestic reservation of gas, which has meant that you haven't had the same increases that have occurred on the East Coast.
Good on you, Alan.
Yes.
He's a teacher. He was a teacher.
Great work, Carl.
He's a Docker supporter.
did the right thing, and it made an impact. And there's a lesson there as well that you've always got to think ahead. And part of my responsibility with the budget is, and this is the tightrope we had to walk, how do you give people support whilst making sure that you put downward pressure on inflation? So, for example, on the energy price relief, instead of handing out cash that would add to the
spending
impact in the economy, we're reducing bills. So instead of it being inflationary, it's deflationary, which makes a difference, puts that downward pressure on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we really appreciate you dropping by. It's always a pleasure when we get to meet you.
It is, mate.
It is in the house tomorrow. We will see you at the lodge.
We'll see you at the lodge
In a month or so, which is very exciting.
You will indeed.
We have to.
I will now be intrigued by what you are wearing.
Well, it's going to be. We're
So
Perth people, and we're
nervous.
going to. It was snowing in Canberra on the weekend, so we're going to be wearing everything. Is the answer just to keep warm?
It's snowing now, apparently. So in 6 weeks' time, I'll give you the big tip. It will be even
colder. Yeah.
Even colder. So make sure you wear your woolies.
Yeah. Just a tip for the security, I would thoroughly search Shaun internally before he walks into the lodge.
And I gladly welcome that, Nathan.
Thoroughly search Nathan internally on the way out.
No stealing the
No, we're
cutlery.
not stealing. We'll just borrow things and bring them back to Perth.
Souveniring.
And for all of your friends, if there is anything, cutlery, chairs, plates in
Toto.
Nathan or Shaun's house, I reckon that we can.
I'm very honest. You can tell, can't
I reckon,
you?
But these guys, I reckon anything in that, can you report it?
Hey,
please?
can I just ask you a
anything with
question?
PM and C on it is not theirs.
Are you going to have extra security?
PM and C doesn't stand for Paul McCartney.
Are you going to have extra security posted on each of us?
Toto will look after you. Toto will be assigned as having her eyes on you.
I'm coming with
Which
the
she
pocket
will
full of
anyway,
schmackos.
I'm taking a selfie with the jocks on my head.
The big test is, Toto, I had a dinner recently, and I just sort of sit there, and it was various business leaders, and Toto goes around, and she's very cute. I'm biased, of course, but she will look up with those big eyes, which say, I have never been fed in my life, I'm starving, and you wait to see who will give first food from their plate.
It'll be me. Guaranteed. It'll be me. Well, we can't wait. We'll see you there. Good luck with the budget tomorrow. You've got a big,
I'll
24
get
hours
the
ahead.
pizzas ready.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
Now, unlike you both, I watched a lot of the Coronation. with Marlene and Brian. And the funny thing is...
Why?
Hear these bells right now? Hear these bells?
Yes, I hear them.
So this is the noise that Kate and Will had rocked up to, running late. They were running late, so imagine
How
that,
do
right?
they run late?
So imagine they're getting there. You know when you're all panicked and in a frenzy, right? That you're running late to something normal, let alone the coronation of your father, who is the king.
Everyone else has got traffic to blame and things like that. The roads are closed for them.
Yeah.
So this is the sound they've rocked up to. Can you pump these bells up? This doesn't calm you down.
No.
This is...
Oh my God, Charlotte! Pick it up!
This only heightens the fact that you're late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Because they would have been... Yeah, anyway, they would have been in procession ready to go and be there on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, they had to walk in behind Charles because what had to have happened was they were supposed to go in before Charles. Everyone was to sit down, then everyone was to stand up as Charles and Camilla walked in. They threw a spanner and that worked. But you know what? No one was really talking about that too much because they were talking about poor Prince Harry. Prince Harry on his drive to the event.
The Abbey.
Every single person was going, oh, poor Harry. Every commentator, oh, poor Harry, sitting there by himself in the car. And then that was the theme for the entire day of speaking about poor Harry because he was there by himself. Here's some of Channel 7's coverage.
Most eyes on Prince Harry, travelling solo. Meghan and the children staying in LA, making the awkward walk alone to his seat.
It's really striking to notice that Harry is alone.
The chair for the spare, 3 rows back. In seating terms, that's Siberia. In the same row, they placed the disgraced Prince Andrew.
That's Siberia.
You don't want to be in the same row with Prince Andrew. I get his point
quite
there.
dramatic, isn't it?
The fact that they were saying something like, oh, poor Prince Harry, Meghan's not there. Had she gone there, it'd be like, oh, I can't believe she turned up.
100%.
So they went, damned if she didn't, damned if she didn't.
But on the flip side, and this is from Harry's point of view, she committed the ultimate relationship sin, and that is she let her partner go to a family function without her, and he needed her support.
Yes, because it's so awkward. We, as you said, we just heard that he was in the car by he's in the car by himself.
I mean, but
so
that would have been
focus.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Like you don't have anybody in your
But
ear.
isn't that part of having a
watch-
partner, isn't it? To say, like, when I'm not going to this by myself, you're married to me, you have to come with me.
Yeah, 100%, no.
And,
100%.
yeah.
And when you see everybody walking down, getting introduced and sitting with their partners and stuff like that, you would feel this is really...
So is that what marriage is about? Making your partner go to things that they don't really want to be at?
One of the complaints I have, when we go to an event sometime, maybe I'll have to go somewhere first and Megan's late or the other way. Megan will always say to me, you have to come out and walk me in.
Oh,
wait,
really?
what do you mean?
Oh, she doesn't want to just walk in and
So
find
wait there,
you.
so you're not going to the thing.
No, he's at the thing
You're at the
already.
thing.
Yeah, so last weekend there was a birthday party that we had to go to. We ended up going together, but before that, Megan was going to be late. And I said, mate, it's just at the South Fremantle Footy Club. You know, just walk into the bar. That's where you are. No, you've got to come out and get me. And she's really been big on this over years.
Yeah, but you carry her around like Whitney Houston.
I do, Nathan.
And Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard, so she's used to that.
Yeah, I know, but at some stage you've got to learn to walk in on your own 2 feet.
And especially nowadays, because you use this like lobber over your shoulder like a sack of flour. Now you carry her like you cradle her.
Actually, I did that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it didn't go down too well.
It's nice. I think a lot of people might have gone to something that is the most horrendous thing to go to by yourself.
Is everyone looking at you? Of course they are.
How embarrassing. I mean, you don't have like rich commentators discussing your every move, but people are looking at you, and it's especially worse when your partner's the one that let you go by yourself. Oh, God, I'd be dirty about that.
So that's why it's an advantage to be single, because there's no partner to blame for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't been let down by somebody.
Yeah.
You're just there on your own.
But on the other side of things, going to, events, Natalie, that you guys would have gone to, weddings and stuff like that, do you like... Because you get put on that singles table.
Oh, my
No,
God.
there's no singles table anymore. That's a thing of the past.
Yes,
But okay, if you're not on a singles table and you're in a table with other people...
Or like
and
the
with
odd
their
chair on
partners
the
and that,
end.
You're just like...
I've got an engagement party this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So it's an engagement thing, and it's for Johnny's brother, right? So congratulations, Danny and Rosanna. Anyway, Johnny was telling me that Danny was talking about where I was going to sit, and he was going to put me
Is
on
it a
the
sit-down formal engagement party?
Yeah,
Oh, you
so
don't
it's
do
going
those
to
very
be a dinner sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
right.
anyway, so then he said, "Oh, Danny said to Johnny, Nathan's going to sit on the singles table," and I don't know any of these people, and that is so unfair.
No, but that's your future. The tarot card reader said you're going to find love.
Johnny knew exactly what I'd say, and he put his foot down. He said, "No, Nathan has to sit on the family table." So I'm the only non-family member sitting.
So
on
that's
the
weird.
So is that weird? Yeah.
But at least I know Johnny and Vanessa.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting next to them. I know them.
But maybe there's new friends to make.
I don't know.
You just got to see it as an opportunity.
Either way, it's a...
I don't see the friends I've got now. now. I can't put any new ones in the roster.
So true. I know
We
that.
want to know. We want to know about the most, the worst thing to attend by yourself.
What have you had to go to on your own, and why was it so awful?
Yeah, how awkward was it? Did your partner, were they the ones that abandoned you and left you alone? And
Because they said, I'm not going to that.
You harbour a lot of anger towards them because of
Or
it.
at least some solid resentment.
We're going to give somebody $150 to spend at Pet Barn thanks to RSPCA WA. Millions Paws Walk is back Sunday, May the 28th. You can get tickets at millionpawswalk.org.au. Check them out there. Plus,
I'll be there, see there.
everybody that comes on air with us goes in with a chance to win $10,000 this afternoon.
Awesome.
All right, did you have to go to something by yourself, and how awful was it exactly?
Mel's in Two Rocks. Hey, Mel.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Mel.
Wonderful,
We're
Mel.
talking about terrible things to rock up by yourself to. What have you got for us?
Well, when I was 21, I was engaged to be married, and about 3 weeks before the wedding, I broke it off with my partner. We had a lot of people coming from overseas who had already arrived. It was quite a big
Mel.
party.
Yes.
And considering the circumstances of the breakup, I had to rock up on my own and have everyone approach me and tell me, why didn't I go through with it? It's so sad. And I just had to sit there and smile and think to myself, oh, my God, if I could just tell you what's really going on. But, that was probably the worst thing I've ever been through in my life.
Oh, Mel, that is tough. Some of the people, were they a bit pissed, mate, because they'd flown out?
No, I think they were just in shock, and even I had, my bridesmaids even say, why didn't you just marry him for the money? And I was just like, oh, my God, because, my life is worth more than $1.
Yes.
No, it's not.
No,
It's hard times
Sean
at the
is,
moment.
Sean
You
is
see
right.
inflation these days?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Hey,
I know.
Mel, so that was all just left up to you. You were the communicator of what happened.
We both made an agreement that we would attend. But, it was very hard. He arrived well before me. I had to make my own way there. It was pretty...
What an awkward gathering.
That is awkward. That is horrible, actually.
I
would
mean, a non-wedding. A non-wedding.
It's terrible.
I mean, the only good thing for you, Mel, was that you were the one that called it off. Because if he'd called it off on you and you still have to turn up, that's just humiliating at every level.
Mel, so because people would have brought presents with them, did anyone say, I'd keep the gift anyway, or not?
Well, we didn't have presents, so we didn't need presents. I used to get bottles of champagne sent around from people for my birthday. And so, we didn't really need presents or anything like that. I didn't see anything afterwards. I didn't see any money, nothing.
Yeah.
I just walked away and started living my life.
With your head held high.
Yeah, wow.
No. Would you marry for money, Nath?
Yeah.
Me too.
Straight away. And I'm talking
You've got enough money,
I'm
Sean.
talking
Oh,
$7.
Thanks, Mel. Douglas, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Douglas.
Okay, what did you have to turn up to on your own?
Well, I wasn't intended, but I ended up there on my own. Sexpo in Brisbane. I was on holidays.
What happened there, Douglas?
Well, I was on holidays and we were catching up with a couple of friends. So I was meeting someone. We were going to get in the car and then go and visit the other friend. And but we were going to have a look at Sexpo. They had a little dingle on the way.
Yes.
And I was on the train in, and I sort of got there and it was like, well, they're not coming. And it's like, should I go in or not? And I thought, well, I've got nothing else to do. It was all right, but I felt like a pervy old
Yeah.
bugger.
You 100% would have looked like a pervy old person.
You would have. And what do? Do you buy stuff just to make sure you're there doing thing? I don't know.
No, I didn't buy anything. I just sort of had a look.
Just had a real good look.
I really wanted to go, and I thought, I'm on holidays. I'll go the first thing, I don't know what to expect. But, it was sort of,
It's okay, Douglas. All you have to do in that scenario, mate, is you just make sure you hover around and then lick your lips at people.
I know the next time I might be a bit more comfortable.
Yes, exactly.
Just hover around the fringes, you know, in that uncomfortable distance towards people.
Yeah, just a little bit too close.
Yeah, one year we had the porn stars come in who were on their way to Sexpo, and you got them doing a video, Nath.
Yes, yeah, we did. What would happen if a adult film was shot at Nova? Let's just say the reception desk was extremely welcoming.
Thanks, Douglas. Joe, hello.
Hello, good morning, team.
Hi, Joe. What did you have to go to yourself?
Oh, newly divorced on my own. There was a new restaurant that had opened and I desperately wanted to go. So the kids were on an access visit. I went to the restaurant. I walk in the front door and give my name, and the waiter says to me, "Oh," he says, "I've heard about people like you." He says, "but I've never had one before."
Oh.
Takes me to my table and everyone was looking at me, and I felt so embarrassed and so horrible that I ate my main meal and left.
Oh, Joe, what a shame.
Joe,
you just have to pretend you're a reviewer, and then they start fawning over you, you know?
It was before mobile phones, so I didn't have anything to do but just sit there and look at my own plate and look at everybody else in families and couples.
Oh,
it
Joe.
was
I couldn't go to a fancy restaurant. I couldn't go to a restaurant.
I can't even go to a sandwich bar and eat by myself.
I've done it overseas. So I went to a really nice little French bistro in the sort of chateau country. And when I went in there, I said, table for one. And the guy looked at me like, oh. And I went, no, don't worry, it's fine. And the best tarte tatin of my life. It was so good. And I made friends with the people at the next table. It was actually really lovely.
No.
Yeah, overseas.
Save for dessert and everything. Well, I mean, what's the difference though?
Oh, because you're not overseas.
It's like overseas. We go to museums. We eat by ourselves. Here we don't. We don't do any of that. Thanks, Joe. Let's go to Belle and Abelia. Hi, Belle.
Hi.
G'day, Belle.
Okay, what did you have to do on your own? Where'd you have to go?
So I went into hospital to have my baby, and the contractions were getting higher, so they gave me some gas. So my husband was really excited to try the gas. As he went to go around my bed, he tripped over the cord, knocked himself out on the bed, and missed my whole birth.
Oh, did he?
That's great.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
so he was like knocked out, and they had to go and look after him separately.
Yeah, he had to go down and be observed, and I spent 6 hours there giving birth, and he made it up an hour after the baby was born.
Oh my God!
So he missed all the action because he was so desperate to try the gas.
He didn't even get to try the gas, did he? He didn't even make it over there.
Knocked himself out on the
Sean,
floor.
did you try the gas?
No, never got any gas.
I didn't know you could try the gas.
No, well, Megan had a cesarean,
C-sections.
Yeah.
You got none of the fun.
Nor did she.
I know.
It's a practice.
Thanks, Belle.
$150 to spend at Pet Barn thanks to the RSPCA. Douglas
And
had to go to Sexpo by himself, everybody.
Creepy old pervert.
Feel sorry for him, don't we?
Yeah, so sorry. Of course, everybody who spoke to us in the running for 10K a day in May, so could be getting a call back this afternoon. Good luck with that.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.